Okay, and we're back talking with Ellen Brown about the IMF. The IMF. Where is it headquartered? Switzerland?
Actually, that's a good...
or is it in Whittier, California?
No, it's... Oh, I think it's in New York, isn't it? I'm not sure, actually. I think it's in New York.
Yeah, it's so Jamie Dimon can get over there easily and talk to everybody.
Yeah.
See.
Well, then I've written several other things that I thought were quite interesting.
You always write interesting pieces. Let's go ahead. We have much to talk about, so please.
There was this lawsuit that came down it was the Kansas Supreme Court held that it wasn't the direct holding, it was a dicta, I guess you would say. But anyway, they held that MERS, this is the Mortgage Electronic Registration Services. It's a company that registers mortgages electronically and has been bringing foreclosures in its own name.
Right.
But really, it's for all these securities holders that are unnamed and that are hiding behind MERS. Basically, they're hiding. They're hiding behind it's like the corporate veil, but this is the veil of protecting them from liability. Because if the homeowners say, well, we were the victims of predatory lending and they told us one thing and they didn't tell us about, this other stuff that was in our contract, then MERS can say, well, we don't know anything about that. We're just, the electronic company here holding the mortgage, and then they can escape all that. But so this court said that MERS did not have standing to bring a foreclosure action. Now that might sound like no big deal, but there are 60 million mortgages held in the name of MERS.
Okay, now that was mentioned last hour. I forgot who projected it. D.B. told us that by early next year or earlier in the year, 60 million more mortgages will go upside down. I wonder what that 60 million that she quoted and the MER 60 have in common.
Well, it seems to me it could give us a lot of leverage anyway. I mean, I can't imagine courts allowing all those people to keep their homes for free, but certainly you could make a lot of trouble. You could at least have a lot of negotiating power. Say, we know what our legal rights are here, and we are prepared to do this unless you start making some better arrangements for the Main Street. Everything's been done in the name of Wall Street. They're doing fine now. The only green shoots are seen in Wall Street, and meanwhile people are out of work and they can't get loans.
Where is this green shoots?
Well, there are no green shoots.
Oh,
I think that all that was what that was about was that Ben Bernanke in the spring he had monetized $300 billion worth of federal debt, and then the Chinese freaked out and said, well, we hope you're not planning to monetize your debt, which was, dilute the value of their $2 trillion.
Yep.
So then we had all these signs of everything was fine, and because they manipulate the market to make it look like whatever they want it to look like. So it was important to make the market look good there. So Bernanke could say, okay, the recession's technically over. You may be unemployed, and you may, be losing.
You may have lost your home, you may have lost your wife, your family, your kids. Don't worry, be happy.
But technically, it's okay. So we're going to quit doing this $300 billion, quit that program where we're going to fund federal debt directly. But they're still funding the federal debt. They're doing it indirectly. So they have $700 billion that they're still buying of agency debt, which is like Fannie and Freddie.
When you say funding the federal debt, we have the federal debt, and they're funding it. What does that mean? They're loaning money against the debt?
They would print dollars or write it up into an account and buy bonds with them. So because they're having trouble getting the other central banks to buy the bonds, and so the Federal Reserve would buy them themselves. or they would do it by these offshore things, which is still them buying it. Now, what I think is that they should buy it, and they should be totally honest and say, yes, we're monetizing the debt, and you should be real glad we are, because we're going through a serious depression right now. The money supply is shrinking. No matter how fast they're madly printing money, they can't keep up with the rate at which the money is going away. And the reason it's going away is every single penny of our money is debt, except for coins, which are almost nothing. I mean, they're just out there to make us think that our government actually has something to do with it.
Coins. What do you mean? Numismatic coins?
What? No, just pennies.
Pocket change?
That's the only thing that the government actually issues. All the rest is issued privately by banks in the form of debt, including the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank.
Right. Wow.
So, and that's all shrinking. And the reason it's shrinking is that their whole Ponzi scheme thing is collapsing, and they can't get these sucker investors to buy the loans anymore, so they can make yet more loans and yet more loans against their capital.
So, how are they going to wiggle their way out of this one?
Well, I think there's a solution, but that's why it seems to me it's very important that people understand what's really going on. Because they have another idea about how they're going to bring this all about, and they're not telling us what they're actually up to.
All right, hold on. It is so convoluted and so full of lies and corruption. But unemployment's going up. Even Greenspan says it. Green shoots. But don't worry, Ellen. The stock market is up. Everything's good. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Be happy. Not a problem.
The Las Vegas stock market.
Oh, be right back.